Hi, everyone. This is Enrique Lopez Tello from Oracle in the Industry Strategy Group, and we will be talking for the next 15 minutes in what do we need to do to move on after COVID-19 in the manufacturing industry. So let me first start taking a look to three main trends that we believe are going to shape the industry going forward for the next few years. The first aspect that I want to discuss with you a little bit is how the customer expectations have evolved. Most of us, in the past, we used to order products, and now we are more and more willing to create subscriptions about particular services. That opens a new opportunity for manufacturing, where, for instance, using an example here of how do we hear music. In the past, we used to buy products like CDs, then we subscribe to services where we hear music, and now we want Spotify. We want to interchange the social media with our friends. We need to get recommendations. We want to buy products. We want to buy services all together in an ecosystem. This is an outcome. So the business model has evolved in part of the industry. This is not to say that the old ones are not working. They are working, but they are overlapped, that they are increased with these new ones. So in order to grow going forward, you need to watch out what kind of new business models your business will require. The second aspect that I want to touch here is the way innovation evolves also. What happened, what we are seeing in the manufacturing, that there is more and more innovation that is being driven by the software layer that we add to our hardware products. And that creates an expectation in the customer that what they acquire is going to evolve continuously. There is a continuous delivery of innovation that is expected from the customer. And that creates tension in the old innovation paradigm that we used to have. So speed to volume and how to change the portfolio in that new era is going to be fundamental to focus on growth. And then the last one is resilience, right? So COVID is just one example, but the disruptions are going to stay there, and they're going to be maintaining these global operations that we have. And so the industry consolidation, merger and acquisitions will create tensions, and the geopolitical uncertainty and regulation, all of those forces are working together. So we need to build a resilient global value chain. So in one hand, the business models have evolved. Second, the way we innovate need to be modified. And third, we need a much more resilient business model. So those are the three areas that we believe that going forward will be very relevant when you think about how to grow your company. All right, so as mentioned, these transformations are not just fine-tuning what you got. These are real business transformations that need to happen almost, they're structural in your business models, in the way you operate, either in the front end, either in the back end systems, or creating a new way of innovation, right? So what we believe is that you will be needing a new set of industry frameworks or industry solutions to work in this new normal. And we have that commitment from Oracle to deliver that from our cloud. I'm going to show you just three examples of these frameworks. One of them is going to be talking about the customer and how do we help delivering that new paradigm. The second one is building that resilience. And the third one is including intelligence in manufacturing, in the manufacturing process. All right, so the first one that I want to touch again is including those new business models in your current business model so you can capture this growth opportunity. And in general terms, we talk about this using different words. For the sake of the explanation here, we are using digital services to talk about these new set of business models. Where, as you see in the screen, subscriptions to services are going to be key. So you need to understand in your front end how those subscriptions will happen, how you will get market intelligence in this new environment, which is not the classic one with the regular sales force that could work multi-channel, right? How do you do commerce in that new situation? Or how do you enable your business model in somebody else's platform? This is a critical question. Will you be running your own platform? Will you be adding your services into a third-party platform? And in that case, how that will happen? So that creates a complete set of needs in the back end that you didn't have before. So transactional, you issue a PO, you get the invoice, you get the accounting working in one way, need to be transformed, right? To connect that new front end where you have monthly payments, when you need to watch out for new KPIs, like for instance, customer churn, which is not typically what you used in the past. And in that environment, you need to be able to supply that continuous innovation. That, how do you evolve these new versions of the products continuously that you are supplying to your customer in a digital platform, right? So to do that, what we do in Oracle is to create this framework in a very flexible way. We use like 3 layers on those platforms that enable that new business models. And at the bottom, you got the core infrastructure where you basically support the scalability of the model. Then how do you get operational your business model in your own platform or connecting to others, right? And there is a series of elements that you need to consider there, including the continuous development of your functions and features and how to deliver that to the customer that subscribe to the service. And then in the front end, you have a complete set of new tools and needs to manage the customers, from order cycle management, market intelligence, how do you promote your service and products? All that front end need to be accommodated to the new business model. So the 3 layers working together is what allows you to get into this new environment for manufacturing, for those pieces of your business where you want to go, business outcomes or delivering digital services. One of the examples when you see in our customer base, the applicability of this new model is Zoom, right? We are using right now, Zoom, right? So this is one of our customers, and they are using this kind of architecture where, we can scale up and capture the market at a very high speed. And they are able to deliver that innovation continuously. And they are able to manage the customer in terms of, order cycle management and the rest of the factors I was explaining before, right? Okay, so that's regarding the new business models category that I wanted to touch a little bit with you today. Let's move on now to a second aspect that we believe will be fundamental after COVID-19. And this is the resilience of the value chain, right? There are several ways of explaining the new status quo. I choose this one, but there might be others that may be interesting. On the left-hand side, you have all the planning systems and that a company could deploy in different line of businesses. And you have obviously a visibility, a planning, and an execution constraint. So it's very difficult to get an image connected. But what is really, really a challenge, it had to accommodate to disruptions in this environment. And that shows on the right-hand side of the slide, where you see that the key fundamental KPIs from finance and operations are not improving in the last few years. Most of the management is thinking that they need to improve in the speed and quality in decision making. And even when they got a good plan, moving that to execution is very difficult. You have those numbers from Bain, McKinsey, and PwC in the screen right now to just corroborate the message. The toolbox is not doing the job. So what is our proposal in that area? Our proposal is to have in the left-hand side is to accommodate fast. This is it. Reduce latency in the business decisions from the moment in which one unexpected event happens to the moment it is detected, filter to understand whether or not it's essential to us, and manage. We create a new plan around that and deploy that plan into the field, right? That is time that goes by and you lose value, and you need to capture that value. We need to capture that value to accommodate our execution to the new plan as fast as we can. So our proposal is the framework on the right-hand side of the slide. What you see there is a closed loop. This is a new architecture in this approach, in the way we want to connect planning, business planning, and all the line of businesses with the execution of those plans. And you see there, what we call extended integrated business planning is putting together in one planning hub everything related to planning. All those point solutions in planning that we presented previously are collapsed in that planning hub using a single data model underneath. Then we need to be able to move plans into execution with one click, and then monitor that plan execution using advanced technologies like machine learning, artificial intelligence, and advanced analytics to understand when those unexpected events happen, and when do we need to take actions around that or automate the reactions to them and close that loop continuously in the different planning layers. One of the customers that initiate that transition with us is Juniper Networks. And you see in the screen one of the customers that is going with us in this transformation journey, Juniper Networks. Let me now touch briefly in the last point, which is how do you integrate intelligence in the manufacturing floor, right? The first thing that we need to consider doing so is that you need to have an holistic approach to that. And the screen you have the way to connect the real-time sensors, data flows to detect the signals that are relevant to you, that from SCADAs and the rest of the devices that you deploy. How do you make decisions around that, which is where we will focus in the next slide? How do you apply intelligence to the decisions together with your classic way of designing? And then how do you automate the execution of your conclusions that you get, right? Is under the same data model. This is a complex view, but that's a simple concept. You need to incorporate AI, mixing the real-time sensor data science to understand what kind of algorithms are needed, and then incorporate the business context and create the business AI-enabled models that you could operate with to do basically two things. On one hand, you need to create predictions about the anomaly detection, foul predictions, recommendations of all sorts. And then on the other hand, your business processes. So for instance, if you take a look at the line, what processes are those? You monitor progress around multiple locations, real-time monitoring and predictions of failures. You have all of them in the screen. Let me show you how one of our customers is doing this approach in a small video. Let me introduce you Titan, an industrial customer.
In this facility, we manufacture the wheels for agriculture, earth mover, construction, equipment, anything off the road. And customers are expecting a lot more out of us than they ever have with cost improvements, system improvements, quality improvements.
Our biggest issue was inventory availability into our SaaS service. Parts were coming off the line at a very rapid pace, and we could not get them reported into the system in a timely manner. It may be an hour or 2 hours by the time somebody could manually put those in, which prevented our shipping processes from being done in an efficient manner. The most important criteria we had when making an IoT solution selection was that we wanted a package that was going to grow with us. And we wanted something that was maintainable and upgradable, not something that was going to be custom application.
Immediate benefits that we've seen from implementing IoT include timeliness and accuracy of the inventory.
We chose Oracle because we have multiple systems across our enterprise, so we had perfect visibility to what was going on within our businesses. And when we looked at what we wanted to do, Oracle was making a huge investment into cloud technology, and it seemed like the best solution for us. We selected Deloitte as our implementation partner. Over time, they've become part of our team.
With the new ERP and SCM installation, we have seen a faster response for getting data for our own analyzation, more real-time data for shop floor transactions, digital workflows. We are able to have those now.
Our inventory is more accurate. and more available in a more timely manner so we can better support our customers going forward. Well, we're going to take this now and move it to our other paint lines within our facility, and this works as a perfect baseline to get that ready to go and to move that into our North American tire facilities.
Well, I just wanted to reiterate our mission is to help people to see data in new ways. I hope that you could discover new insights in this presentation so you can unlock endless possibilities going forward after COVID. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.